76. Today is Wednesday, December 6th, 2017. It's been a little while since I've podcasted. It's been crazy busy, y'all. Lots has been going on. I've been working like crazy at Target, having so much fun. Sometimes I worked Black Friday. I worked Thanksgiving. I worked the Saturday after Black Friday, and I believe the Sunday. I think I worked those 4 days in a row, and y'all, it was insane. I've never been a Black Friday shopper, and so this was like a whole new experience for me. I didn't really know what to expect, but I was really pleased at how well organized everything was. Everybody was really like calm as far as the employees, and they had a really good plan. They had certain areas like cordoned off, so like you couldn't just come in to buy like on Thanksgiving Day, like, just like a gallon of milk, so like they had like a plan, and we got sent people one by one because I'm a cashier, and so that was really helpful. I didn't have people like stampeding towards me because I was a little scared about that, I'm not gonna lie. So it's been really good. I've gotten some really good feedback from my managers, and that makes me happy. I'm going to check my microphone here. We're going to down a little bit lower because I want to put on some other things later to show you. So what else has been going on? The kids are doing awesome. Ailish who's my 10-year-old, she is in drama club, and she's very dramatic now. Everything is very dramatic, but she's got the sweetest heart and the sweetest disposition, and I just love how she takes care of her brothers and loves on them and on other people, and she's always looking out for the underdog, the person who's a little bit hard to love, or the person who doesn't have a friend. She's always looking out for that person to be a partner with them, and I just love that about her. She's just incredible. Evan, who is my 7-year-old son, he is very, like, emotions are just right at the surface right now, and we're kind of trying to figure out why, but he's really we're struggling a little bit with that, but he's doing so good in school, and he's just, he's my cuddle bug. He's my cuddle friend. He calls himself. Mom, do you need a cuddle friend? Yes, I do. So that's the best. Owen, who is my 14-year-old son, he's doing really well. He had straight A's except for one class where he has a C+. But even in that class, the teacher made a comment that he is a hard worker and he takes responsibility. So he is working really hard to get that grade up a little bit more. But we are so proud of him. He goes to tutoring twice a week to make sure that he gets the help that he needs. And then Brian helps him with homework when he's home, because Brian loves math. I do not. Please don't make me do math, because we're like knitting math. And even then I'm going to have to double check it with Brian. But Owen's getting his tonsils out on the 20th. He has had 5 bouts of strep throat in 6 months. And the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat doctor, when we got a consult with him, basically said, we're going to leave it up to you. It's your decision. You do what you want. And if you want to get his tonsils out, then that's fine. And a week later, he had another case of strep throat. So we called and we said, yes, please. We're all done now. Thank you. This has been lots of fun, but we're all done. Thank you. And so, 5 days before Christmas, he's getting his tonsils out. I'm really glad he's getting his tonsils out. I'm not happy about the 5 days before Christmas part, because he's going to be hurting for Christmas. But, we've met our deductible for this year, and so we needed to get that done and save him from getting more tonsil or more strep throat, hopefully the rest of the winter. And yeah, and it'll happen right like the day before he's out for school for winter break, he'll get his tonsils out. So he'll have all that time to recover. He won't be missing a ton of school. So I think it's really perfect. But yeah. And I'm doing good. And Brian, he's still working. He has a job. He's worked at the same place for 4 years. They're just going through a little bit of struggle right now. So if you want to pray for him, you can pray for him. He's having a hard time, but he's still working. He goes there every day. And he works. And I bring him coffee and soda when he needs it. And, bring him hugs and stuff. So anyways, I want to talk about knitting and crocheting and spinning because that's what I'm here for. That's what you're here for too. So let's get on with it. Okay. What have I been wearing? I've been wearing a lot of shawls lately. Yesterday was the first day that it was below 50 degrees in weeks. We've had really warm weather, but I always wear my wool socks to work because they're nice and cushy. If you're going to stand on your feet for 8 to 10 hours a day, you really need some really good shoes. So we invested in some New Balance shoes for me, which I love. And then also I wear my wool socks, which are nice and smushy and cushy and cozy, and they keep my tootsies happy. So I haven't been wearing a whole lot of hand knits just because the weather hasn't been to the point where I need it. But the last couple days, we're making a swing towards cold weather, so that's wonderful. I am super excited to be able to wear shawls again. This is my Blue Moon Hitchhiker shawl that I made out of Blue Moon Fiber Arts. I don't remember the colorway, but I'll link to it in my show notes. It's really beautiful. It's blue and gray and green. And I knit this a few years ago. I'm going to say 3 or 4 years ago. But it's in their lightweight base, which is great. And it's just really nice and cozy. It's not overly massive, which is nice, especially on days when it's not too terribly cold. Here is the widest point. I can stretch my fingers. Here's the top of my finger. Here's the base of my thumb, the bottom of my thumb right there. So I can stretch my fingers, and that's about as wide as it goes. And now it's pretty long, like a hitchhiker is, but that's okay. It's very warm and cozy though, and squishy. Ooh, yes. What have I been working on? I'm very excited to show you. The first thing I've been working on is going through all my Unwind Yarn Company yarn. I have my socks. These are the Rendezvous Sport Sock in the Let Them Eat Cake colorway. This is from Dana of Unwind Yarn Company. And the sock looks like this. And I just think it is gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? And then I'm just making some kind of shorter socks. So they're not terribly tall on the leg. But that's okay. I'm not a big... I don't want knee highs, and I don't go for an 8-inch leg. Really, mine are more 4 or 5 inches. So this is just a little bit shorter than that. This leg is probably about 2 inches, and then I have about 1.5 inches worth of a cuff. So, it's not going to be terribly tall, but that's the way I like my socks anyway. So, yay for me. Here is what the yarn looks like all wound up. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's beautiful. I'll try to turn around a little bit so you can see some of the other stuff that's going on there. Yay! So I've been knitting on those. Those have been my work knitting. I keep it in my lunch box, my lunch bag, and I bring it out at lunchtime so that I can work on socks during my lunch. I get weird looks. I don't care. Look at me weird. I'm doing what I love. I will talk with people and knit. Ooh, sorry, yawn. I haven't had coffee yet today, or tea, or soda, or anything. So I'm a little bit tired still. That's okay though. Y'all are exciting. I love talking to people. I'll wake up in a minute here though. And then I also have from Unwind Yarn Company the Alpine socks out of her Journey sock base. And here we have the leg of the sock, and as you can see, I'm starting the heel flap. These are the Prairie sock pattern by Kay Jones, Kay of the Bakery Bears podcast. I'm going to make up a last name for her. Your new last name is Jones. I hope that's correct. I'll link to it in the show notes. It'll be fine. But here's what this looks like. I think that this is a really beautiful sock pattern. It's simple. It's easy to remember. You don't have a lot of guessing as to where you are in the pattern because it's not that difficult. But you come up with a really elegant looking sock, which I think is really fun. I love when I can do hard things, or things that look hard, things that look really difficult or really elegant looking, and it's really super easy. I'm all about that. So that's the Alpine colorway. I'm trying to find, it focuses really well on me, as it should. Okay, well anyways, that's what it looks like. It's just really kind of a beautiful cream with a light blue and a little bit of a tan, like a light tan and a medium tan. I just think it's such a beautiful colorway, and something that is neutral enough that I can wear with a lot of different things without having my socks screaming out, "Look at me!" Although I have a ton of socks that scream out, "Look at me," and I love wearing them. I'll wear just about anything. It's kind of the way it is. The last thing that I've been working on, and I just picked this up again last night, so it's not like I've been, putting a lot of time and effort into it, but that would be my granny stripe blanket, which I keep in this bag. Mostly in this bag is just all my scraps. Let me put my hook in here so I'll know where it is. I won't lose it. I have a lot of scraps that I've gotten from friends that I have purchased, where I've gotten minis from people on Etsy, and I have a lot of my own scraps too. So I'm having a lot of fun. I picked this up last night and I wove in all the ends that were unwoven, and then I've done 2 colors so far. So it looks like this. And I'm just having a lot of fun. I don't randomly pick out the colors because I am too controlling for that. So I can just kind of go with what goes with the last few colors, in the progression of going up. And overall, I really like the look of it. I just think I love looking at the yarns and going, I remember I made this out of this, and I remember I made these socks out of this, and this was a shawl, and this was for my friend Michelle, and this I bought on Etsy, and I love that color, and I just think it's so much fun. It is awfully wide. It is as wide as my king size bed, so it's actually California king, so it's rather wide. But I love it. I am not great at weaving in ends. Not in crochet. I'm good when it comes to weaving in ends and knitting. But I don't know about you, but I'm just not that familiar with crochet, and so it's hard for me to know what I'm doing exactly. And I'm too hesitant about doing like the magic knot kind of thing. it makes me nervous. But then again, weaving my ends on this makes me nervous too. So I don't know what's better, but at least I figure this way, if I have an end that comes undone, at least I have, because I weave in quite a long piece, I can weave that back in. So, you know, I know some people that leave like a 2 or 3 inch long tail and weave that in and they're good. And I can't do that. My tails are usually about 8 inches long. Maybe that's too long. I don't know. How long are your tails that you leave to weave in? I'm so curious. Tell me. I mean, like, not right here, right now, because I won't be able to hear you. But why don't you leave me a message in the show notes or in the thread on Ravelry and tell me, because I'm so interested. So interested. Okay, so, yay, Granny Stripe blanket. I love it. And it's so squishy. And Evan, he came in and was cuddling with me last night because, you know, he's my cuddle friend. And he was, you know, cuddling up next to me last night as I was working on it. And he's like, oh, Mama, who is this blanket for? Please tell me it's for me, Mama. And I was like, well, no, not really. You know, it's actually for me. And he was like, oh. He goes, well, will you at least like make me a scarf or something? So apparently I've been neglecting my children in my crafting. Oh, well. I will have to rectify that situation. I shall do so soon. Okay, what I have finished. I finished Brian's Christmas socks. Yay! Here they are. I have sock blockers. Hold on. Look at me. Oh yeah. So I got to knitting these, and I was knitting them at a doctor's appointment with Mom. I was waiting for her to get done with it. It was a rather long appointment. She's doing great. It was just a kind of a checkup situation. And I wasn't really paying attention. And so you'll notice a slight problem in that the socks are not the same height. Brian doesn't care. It doesn't bother me. It's like, I think it's like 5 rows difference. And so yeah, so we're okay with it. But I was like, aw, man. I was just so busy talking with Mom and talking with other people that I didn't notice that I had gone like 5 rows beyond where I was supposed to. I'd call it an "Are you kidding me?" but I'm not going to fix it because it's done. They're toe-up socks, and so it wouldn't be difficult to do. It's just I'm too lazy, and Christmas is coming, people. It's only a couple weeks away, and there's so much to do still. So I'm not going to try and fix it. I'm just going to leave it, and he's going to be happy, and he is happy with the socks that I make him. So yes, so that's done, and I think I might need to take a picture of them still, so I might leave them in sock blockers. I have not been great about taking pictures of my knitting lately. I'm so tired from working. I have been working all kinds of different shifts. On Thanksgiving, I worked from 5:45 in the evening until we left at 1:15 in the morning, and then I was back at work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I worked until like 5:30 or 6. And so yeah, so I've been working like varying hours, and so it's kind of hard to keep up with my sleep, but it's okay. You know, it's the kids loves coming to see me. I get to see all my fun family and friends at Target. You know, like I'll be like, hey, how you doing? You know, I get to see people that I know, which is so much fun, and they all come up and give me hugs and stuff. So that's great. I love it. I forgot to tell you that Brian's socks were made from Heritage Prints from Cascade. It is a 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, and this was color number 38. So yeah. Also, I guess this would be an "Are you kidding me?" I was literally like 2 rows away from being done with the second sock, and Ailish was not paying attention to what she was doing, and she put her knee down on my knitting on the couch and then got up because she realized she had to do something else. totally bent one of the needles. Like, it was like this. Went and sat down and I was like, oh. And so I didn't tell her about it because I didn't want to make her feel bad. It was my fault that I left my knitting on the couch like that. I mean, I was just thankful that it was like my Addies and not, I don't have any signature needles, but the Chow Goose probably may have hurt her, my red lace Chow Goose. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make her feel bad, but I was like, oh my goodness. So I have some ordered from Handsome Fibers on Etsy. And I think they might have arrived today. I think I got the notification, so I'm going to run down there right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'll run down there a little bit later to get them. And I also bought a 9-inch circ from Chow Goo, from Handsome Fibers, because I want to give that a try and see how I feel about that. I haven't tried them before, but I don't have the most delicate, tiny fingers or hands. I'm not a delicate, tiny kind of person. And so I don't know how I'm going to feel, knitting with my fingertips, but we shall see. And I will let you know how that goes. Yay! Okay. I don't know if you remember, but I had some Malabrigo Mecha in the Arco Iris colorway, and Mecha is like a really bulky weight yarn. And I decided that after October, where I knitted only in fingering weight yarns to work on socks, that I wanted to work on some bigger yarn. I needed something a little bit more like, hey, I can finish this in a couple days. So I did. So this is the Everyday Brew Hat. I believe that's what it's called. Again, I'll put that in the show notes, and you can find all my projects on Ravelry. And it looks like this. It's just slightly slouchy. It's not overly slouchy. And I can pull it down really nicely. I did not use an entire skein of yarn for this. I used most of a skein of yarn, and then the rest of it I put into my next project, the cowl that I made. But I love this hat. Super easy. It was just I believe it's a 4-row repeat. And the colors are beautiful, and it is so soft and squishy and just really comfy and cozy to wear. So I'm really excited because I also have a cowl that matches now because I'm fancy. And that looks like this. This is the Squishy Soft Cowl, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. This cost a few dollars. I believe it might have been $4 to $6, somewhere in there. This is a free pattern. And it does not match the pattern in this, but the yarn matches. So I'm calling it matchy. Because I could do that. I'm allowed. I'm the boss of my knitting. There are no knitting police. And this just looks like this. I finished this in just a couple days. I took it to volleyball practice for Evan, and finished it after, a couple of volleyball practices and, volleyball game. And yeah, so it was super fast. And, it was really weird to go back to the smaller yarns after working on these for, the course of a couple weeks. But I really did enjoy it. And I would probably work with Malabrigo Mecha again because it was delightful. And I loved getting things done quickly. It was really nice to have a project done like that, Well, I mean, not like that, but, it was really super quick compared to me knitting on socks in between, things. So, it was very, it was very kind of potato chippy, because I saw such progress so quickly. It was really nice. So, yeah. Gilding the Lily. Let me show you what I have. I talked about this in the last podcast, but for my birthday, Brian bought me a shirt. And it says, "Just pour me tea, hand me my knitting, and slowly back away." Oh, it's going to be backwards for you. I was going to wear it, but I decided not to. But isn't that pretty? I think it's beautiful. I love it. I've been saving it. I haven't worn it yet because I've been saving it until I could show you. So yay. I'm very happy about that. So I will link to that where Brian bought it in the show notes. So yeah. Because maybe you need a shirt like that too. I don't know. I don't know what other kind of shirts they have either, but we shall see. Okay. Moving right along. Let's talk about the gratitude craft along contest that we have going on. I'll read what I've been reading before. A few episodes ago, I talked about how I have been struggling with my bipolar depression, and I have anxiety and things, that go along with it, and so, I am trying to stay positive and stay focused on good things, and so I'm trying to encourage positivity and gratefulness in all of my friends. So my friends at work, my friends at church, my friends, my family, you guys. And so part of that is just recognizing things that I can be grateful for in my everyday life. And, sometimes that just means, that I'm just so thankful that my husband went and got groceries this week. I'm so thankful that, my daughter is, finding friendships this year in a new school. And, I'm thankful for finding a good parking space at work, things like that. It doesn't have to be, I'm thankful for the sun and the moon. I am thankful for, the pile of gold that I have in my vault that I get to swim through like Scrooge McDuck. It doesn't have to be really grand things. It can be really simple things. And sometimes those things are the things that help us to stay grounded and in the moment. So this is a really open craft along that we're doing as a group, and I would love for you guys to participate in it with me. You can post what you're crafting that makes you happy. You can post things that inspire you. You can post things that you're grateful for. You can be encouraging to other people. Post things that make us laugh. There's really no limit to what you can post or the number of times that you can post. So I've used a random number generator. And I have 2 prizes that I'm giving away this episode because it's been a little while, and also I just felt like it, and I'm allowed to do that because, it's my podcast. So the first person that won was Creative Lady 1. She is the very last post in the group right now, and she wins this Malabrigo sock in the Ravelry red colorway, which I think is a really beautiful. It's much more. It's more like that. It's not, as far as the color, it's not like all bright and like that. It's more like this. Ooh. It's like the Technicolor Ravelry red. And Creative Lady 1 just put something that she's thankful for right now, and that's wonderful. She's thankful for family and friends who are supporting her, and I think that that's awesome. We have been through things as a family, my family, and have needed the support of our family and friends, and having people around you who are helping to care for you when you need it is really important. We all need to have people like that. And then travel socks, you win this beautiful skein. This is Anzula Breeze. It's a lace weight. It's a luxury fiber. It is 65% silk, 35% linen in the spruce colorway. And this is give or take right about 750 yards. And it looks like this. This is what I knit my featherweight out of, and it's really beautiful and lovely to work with. This was a leftover skein that I had. It is a full skein. It's just wound up because I didn't need it, so I had extra. But it's a full skein, so it's going to be really, you could make a really nice shawl with that, or something else that you want to make. So please contact me, ladies, and let me know what it is where you would like for me to send this to. I'll just need your address. I promise not to stalk you. And you can get back to me and tell me, and I'll try to get this out as soon as I can. So that'll be great. I wanted to do a Bless Your Heart that's kind of in keeping with what I've, the thankfulness and gratitude, and it's basically, it's Ephesians 4:29, and this is from the Message version. And I think the first sentence and the last sentence are the things that are really caught me today. And it says, watch the way you talk. Let nothing foul or dirty come out of your mouth. Say only what helps, each word a gift.